Let's do a few audience questions, why don't we, to wrap up the week now in December. Allison wrote in saying, hey David, why can't Donald Trump just take criticism in a more reasonable way? Yeah, I've received a lot of emails about this, and you'll remember that Donald Trump, number one, just sort of lost it on Twitter after Mike Pence went to Hamilton, the musical, and there was a message. It was a pretty respectful message, actually, to Pence about some of the concerns of different groups around the country, including actors in Hamilton, the musical. I don't know why Donald Trump can't take criticism. I think part of it comes with the reality that as a Manhattan billionaire who has been basically seen as the powerful and respected guy in the room for most of his life, even though he's sort of been goofed on in social media since being the Apprentice host and all of that stuff. By the way, how crazy is it that we're talking about the president-elect by saying, you know, the guy that used to be the host of The Apprentice? It's interesting because his sort of relationship to the people that follow him is now totally different. You have not only close to the number of people that voted for you having voted for someone else, you have millions more people that voted for the other candidate. And they don't like a lot of the things that he said. And they don't like a lot of the things that he said he's going to do. So I think that it is okay to mock someone who can't take criticism, particularly when it's someone of Donald Trump's stature who has chosen to not only run for president, and he should be aware of what it is that that brings with it, but also chosen to run an incredibly offensive and insulting campaign, insulting all sorts of people during debates, during interviews, on social media. I believe that it is absolutely legitimate to criticize Trump for the reality that he seems to not be able to take jokes. And as many people pointed out during the campaign, when we saw how Trump would react to criticism from random media outlets, from, I don't know, actors, from all sorts of random people, he could barely handle debate moderators. How are we to believe that he is not going to be played like a violin, to use a term now that I've used a couple of times, by somebody like Russian leader Vladimir Putin? I mean, it completely is relevant to his job as president that he is so thin-skinned, and it is abundantly clear to me that that is not a critique on style. It is actually a substantive critique because of what we know is required to be president of the United States. So Allison, why can't Trump take criticism? I think it's decades of being groomed as the guy who is just in charge and respected and the man, essentially, and now being faced with the reality that he's incompetent and saying foolish and incompetent things about so many different issues, and people are reacting to that. And is it okay to criticize him for that? Absolutely, no doubt about it.